Alright, now section 3. So, section 3 will be about extinguishers. So, what is an extinguisher? Extinguisher is a portable device that discharges a jet of water, a foam, gas, or other material to extinguish fire. These are typically found, in houses, buildings, industries, pretty much everywhere, and it's very important to have these around. So, extinguishers. Prior to the 1st of January 1997, the Code of Practice for Extinguishers in the UK was BS 5423, which advised the color and coding of fire extinguishers as follows. So, your water extinguisher is going to have a red coating. Your foam extinguisher is going to have a cream coating. Your dry powder extinguisher is going to have a blue coating. Your carbon dioxide CO2 are going to have a black coating, and your halon extinguisher is going to have a green coating. So, water extinguisher. The cheapest and most widely used fire extinguishers are used for Class A fires. Don't ever use Class A fire extinguishers on Class B fires, liquid fires, or electrical fires because they don't mix very well, and it's going to cause even more of a problem. So this is an example of a water extinguisher. It's all silver with a red sticker right there. Foam extinguishers. So foam extinguishers are more expensive than water, but they're still versatile. These extinguishers used for Class A and Class B fires only. Foam spray extinguishers are not recommended for fires involving electricity, but are safer than water if sprayed onto live electrical apparatus. So, like I said, you typically want to use these for A and B fires. So this is what your foam extinguisher is going to look like. All right, so dry powder. So dry powder extinguisher is often termed the multi-purpose extinguisher. It can be used for Class A, B, C, and C fires. It's best for Class B fires because the powder it takes away the vapors and extinguishes the fire at the same time, and it's really pressurized as well. So therefore, it works as like a fan, if you will. So this is what your dry powder extinguisher looks like. So CO2 extinguishers, fire extinguishers. Carbon dioxide is ideal for fires involving electrical apparatus and will also extinguish Class B fires. This is what your CO2 extinguisher going to look like. Notice how it has a big nozzle for like a bigger radius of extinguish agent to, go to fires and extinguish them. So now I'm about to tell you 9 helpful tips when using fire extinguishers. So tip number 1. Fires can usually be brought under control if they are attacked correctly with the right type and size of extinguisher within the first 2 minutes. So this is very important when we're talking about extinguishing fire because if you attack it right when it happens, therefore you save the property, life, and you keep the incident stabilized. So say if a paper on the ground is on fire, you want to get rid of it as soon as possible. So therefore, there's no need to call the fire department. It will save a lot of time, a lot of energy, and also will save a lot of lives. So tip number 2. The higher the rating number on an A and B extinguisher, the more fire it can put out. Be careful for high rated units are often heavier models. Make sure you can hold the operating model you are using. So when this is by that, so the heavier the extinguisher, the more agent that's in it, and the more powerful it is. So and make sure you can lift that type of weight and extinguish the fire correctly. We don't want anybody getting hurt or anything while extinguishing these types of small fires. So tip number 3. Before attempting to fight a small fire, be sure everyone is out of the area and sure someone has called the fire department. So if something caught on fire, you want to be sure the fire department has been called and everybody's out the area just in case that you miss or the fire spreads. You want to make sure everybody is safe and out the area before you start extinguishing the fire. If the fire starts to spread over and threatens your path of escape, get out immediately. So if you're extinguishing a fire and it spreads and you can't contain it, then you have the fire department on the way. and therefore, then what you need to do is you need to get out immediately. So, tip number 4. The operator must know how to use the extinguisher quickly without taking time to read directions during an emergency. So if you have an extinguisher in your hand, you should be able to know what to do with it, how to use it, and how to use it effectively. Because the longer you read the directions and wait, the more and more the fire can grow. Because as I said earlier, fire only needs 60% oxygen. So therefore, we want to make sure that you know how to use the extinguisher properly and extinguish the fire as soon as it pops up, whatever. Remember that the extinguishers need care as much recharge after every usage. So if you use the extinguisher and the fire and extinguish the fire, you want to make sure that you tell someone that, hey, this needs to be refilled, because if another fire happens, you don't have a full extinguisher, then you have a problem. So tip number 5. Pull the pin. So on the top of your extinguisher is a pin to pull. Pulling the pin. Some extinguishers require releasing the lock latch, pressing a puncture lever, and other motion. So usually most extinguishers just have the pull pin. So what you want to do when you see a fire, you want to stand in front of it and pull the pin out, so you can begin extinguishing the fire. Tip number 6. Aim low. So aim at the base of the fire. Try to get as close. Don't get too close, but try to get close enough as possible so you can really get the base of the fire. Point the extinguisher nozzle at the base of the fire, so you really want to get up and close to the fire, not too close to get burned, but close enough to really extinguish the fire at the base. And tip number 7, squeeze. You want to squeeze the handle on the extinguisher. This releases the extinguishing agent, so whatever it is, this releases the extinguishing agent. And if you release it, it'll stop, and if you keep releasing it, it'll keep going. And so the 3 steps is pull. So the acronym for extinguishing fire with extinguishers is called PASS, and PASS stands for pull the pin, which for P, aim, which is the A, squeeze, which is the S, and the sweep is with the second S. So you want to squeeze the handle, this releases the extinguishing agent, and you want to keep going back and forth at the base of the fire until the fire is out. So tip number 8, sweep from side to side at the base of the fire until it appears to be out. Watch the fire area in case fire breaks out again, or repeat use extinguisher if necessary. So be very aware of your surroundings when doing stuff like this. So tip number 9, read and follow the directions on your extinguisher. If you have the slightest doubt about whether or not to fight the fire, don't fight the fire. So if you ever come across, if you're iffy or you don't know if you want to fight the fire or not, don't make any hesitation. It is okay, because you have the fire department coming to assist you. So therefore, don't worry about it. Get out of there immediately and let the fire department come do their job. Section 4.